Well, thank you for joining the Homo Sanity show. It is Revenge of the Fifth. It's Revenge of Homo Sanity. I haven't been back here doing a live broadcast in a while, but I have some things I want to talk about. So I decided to do one. It's been quite some time. I'm trying to check down here to see if my mic is working. I'm hoping it's working. We shall see. Okay, so for Revenge of the Fifth, there is a Star Wars character you may not know about, and it is Darth Vader's wife. Yes, do you know about Darth Vader's wife? She looks exactly like how Darth Vader looks, but she dresses in white and pink. Her outfit is white and pink. Her mask is white. Okay. She's taller than Darth Vader is, and she's stuck in menopause, but she prefers it. On her belt, you will see the face of Hello Kitty because she likes to create memes about Hello Kitty where she destroys Hello Kitty in a multiple amounts of ways. She cannot wear perfume like a woman can, but she does have a space within her mask to insert a variety of breath mints. So she speaks her deadly words. Her victims get a wave of minty fresh breath. And in her many voice boxes that she has, or I should say sound boxes, not voice boxes, she has some sound boxes on her belt. Um, she has one that plays Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Now, she dances to that only in private and in a dark room. So that is Darth Vader's wife. Now, you might say, well, I've never seen Darth Vader's wife. Like I said, she is, did I say this? That she is in white and pink. So her mask, like Darth Vader's mask is white. And then she has different parts of the rest of her in white and pink. And you haven't seen her in the series because she appears in very millisecond spots, so the film doesn't pick her up. But she is a bonus character that I've just created to make you laugh today. So happy Revenge of the Fifth. The Sith. The Fifth. The Sith. La, la, la. All right, just some humor for you to start the show because that's how I am. I like to do some humor. So I have a whole bunch of topics I want to talk about today. I hope to get to them and I don't talk myself to death. I am single, and I'd like to say I didn't choose to be single, but they say, you know what? You choose the life you make. You choose your reality. So I guess some part of me has chosen this. I know when I was younger, when I got around to about 20, I don't know why I thought this, but by 25, I was going to be married and have kids. Oh, that was such a pressure to put on myself. But of course, I didn't think that I was gay either, so that didn't happen. But even when I came out later in life, I still wanted to be married and have kids. And it still hasn't happened, and I'm in my 50s. And I still want that, at least to be married, but it still hasn't happened. And I could blame the dating scene and whatnot. And it is hard, I think. Um, but some part of it must be me. But still, anyhow, needless to say, um, you got to take care of yourself. And I really believe in the journey of self love. Self love is a very hard journey. We are not taught how to love ourselves in a right and good way. People say, oh, love yourself. Have confidence in yourself. Well, thank you. Just because you said it, now it is so. Well, no, it's not. It's hard, and you have to learn it. It's a hard journey. But one of the joyous journeys of self love, one of the great things about being gay is that we're more sexually exploratory and liberated, is the art of baiting, masturbating, jerking off, whatever you call it, whatever you choose to call it. And I want to talk about sex toys today and my favorites. I have went on a journey uh, buying quite a few to have a top level experience because I figure, shoot, my hooking up days are pretty much done. I'm not saying it's completely done, but it's pretty much done. Uh, Within me is such a strong desire now for a relationship that I just won't have it. My body won't have it. I've tried, trust me, I have tried before. And sometimes I try again, and my body just will not have it. So at least I can have a good time with myself, right? I wonder what sex toys are your favorites in your stash that really get your toes curled, and send you out into the stratosphere. So for mine, I have my top two that I'm going to share with you. And really, I just say top two because even though I do have more, I just keep going back to these top two. I say, well, I really got to try that one next time. I just keep going back to these top two because they're so freaking good. All right. So at the top of my list, um, and this is because it's really just around customer service. But at the top of my list is the Tanga Flip, which is actually discounted now. Um, there are other Tanga flips. Um, there they have more advanced ones that are expensive, but there's a Tanga Flip that actually has circles on them, like two circles. You have to look for this. And if you press either one of those circles, it kind of changes the suction in this masturbator. And the Tango Flip, you open it up and you lube the inside of it. And the knobs in there, uh, and the ticklers are just incredible. And the great thing about it is that you have control with it, but the way with the pressure that you can squeeze with this thing gives you such a variety of suction and movement that you can edge. And I tell you, I just can't explain it. It's just out of this world. And I'm not a big fan of any other Tanga products. I took a risk in buying it when it came out. I basically listened to the reviews, and it is has been my go-to, the only go-to for a long time because I just wow, like chills, like just wonderful chills, just beyond. The second one is a hands-free electronical one called the Handy. That one, oh my God, that one is. I just recently had an orgasm that was not only beyond, but 10 times beyond with that one. Um, Probably the best orgasm I've ever had in my life. Okay. So, why isn't that one the top? Well, let me explain the Handy first. It has a long pillar with a clear rib that's attached to it with a Velcro strap, and it mechanically goes up and down on your shaft as you position it, and it has ticklers in it. And you can buy different cups and stuff like that. And you can alter how the length that it goes up and down and how fast it goes up and down. No vibration or anything like that in it. Um, and I do have other vibration things if I ever want vibration, but I'm not really big on vibration. I mean, it's good. I do have those, but I'm just not a big vibration guy. Um, but anyhow, so the drawback on the handy is that it comes from Switzerland, and I never imagined that there would be such crappy customer service. They have really crappy customer service. Like they did not. I had questions. They did not answer my emails. I had to go to Discord, and then even at Discord, it was kind of a runaround at first. I did get my question answered though from them on Discord. I knew that it was okay though for a product because I seen other people using it, and they helped me fix my problem on Discord. It was just a misunderstanding I had on the buttons. Thank goodness. But I don't trust their customer service fully. So, but it is an excellent product. I'm going to say that everybody and their brother wants a hands-free device or to try it, and you have to be very careful because I tried another one and spent over $100, which the handy is also. And it came from China and didn't do half the stuff it said it was to do, and there was no way to return it. That got me to looking around at other sites, and I saw, wow, so many sites are sketchy with these hands free ones. So be careful about that. Make sure you see people using it either on Twitter X or porn sites or something, or you know that it's a legit like sex toy place. Just be careful about that because you'll spend a lot of money on these things and they might not work. But those are my top two. I would love to know what other people's top twos are. So that is that. Oh, that's not what I wanted to hit. I wanted to hit this. That's my third body. Oh, all right. The Methodist Church. Let's go from sex toys to church. So the Methodist Church recently passed that they will now allow gay clergy to marry to I'm sorry, that they will allow gay clergy to be married and preach and all that stuff, which has been a long fight in the Methodist Church. And I know some people that were really grieved about this for quite a while, and some really bitter, hard fights. And I think it's a great thing. Uh, it's progress. My caveat is, and I think of uh, other I shouldn't say, well, I guess, yeah, other minorities, because gay people would be considered a minority. Um, that these things take so long. I mean, this is ridiculous how long these things take. And I think for the church overall, not just on that, but on so many things, it's taking the church as a whole on so long to progress, um, that I don't know how long um, it's going to last. I don't know as far as church organizations. I was talking to some pastors before about how they see churches going back to homes because so many ministers are having to move to being part-time ministers because of the congregation. Now, the ones that are booming, sadly, are fundamentalist extremist ones. So, I belong to other podcasting venues, and when I talk about this, I'll get people that'll say, "Oh no, it's fine, it's fine." Well, and they just so happen to belong to extremist ones. So, but I could be wrong. But I just think when I go to churches and stuff, um, there's loving people. Don't get me wrong, and there's good being done. But I don't know how you get youth and new generations in when these buildings look like they're back from the 50s and 60s and you're still singing songs with thee, thy, thou, and still doing things in the old ways. You know, I know this is blasphemous, but I think we could add books to the Bible. Um, we could have our own canons. I mean, there's been people that have said revelational stuff since then, um, that surely may be as good or greater, because did not Jesus say that we will do not only what he called us to do, but greater things than what he called us to do? I don't know, but something has got to change. It's a great step that what happened with the Methodist Church, and we need so much more. All right. So, another topic. Another topic. Claiming to be what you aren't. This kind of came up I'm on Swell, which is a really cool community. It's a cool community of podcasters and really just people that get on there and talk. And you can also get on there and respond via talking. And this came up on a lady's post. This was actually the title of her post. And it brought to my mind some memories. But also, somebody else posted about this controversy with Drake. And he was talking about how he was upset that he found out that Drake could really do some good rapping, and why hadn't he shown this side of him before rather than doing all this other ridiculous stuff, I guess. And you know there's people out there that claim that, and we're talking about church stuff too, just tying that in, people that claim that they're that they know about love and and forgiveness, um, and that they know uh, who true Christians are and who aren't true Christians, um, but they really don't walk that walk. They talk that talk, but they don't really walk that walk, you know. Um, and it got me to thinking of this story. I used to belong to a gay choir. When I came out, it was one of the biggest things that I stepped into. It wasn't the first thing, but it was the biggest thing where I was excited, like really, really excited about. Not at first, I was terrified, but as I made connections and stuff, I started to get excited about. And I like to sing too. I'm not necessarily a diva, but I was excited about it. And one of the things was that I was really taken during our practices by our director. Um, During the practices, um, initially, because we were a very small choir, we had, almost like a mission. Like we weren't the only, but we had a mission as a gay men's choir to really be a positive, bright light in the community, and we were small. So there was this passion about it, and the director seemed to have this passion about it. And I was just elated at every practice by the selection of his music, by the way he talked, the things he said. He seemed to be this wonderful hearted, passionate person, and sometimes even outside of the choir. One of the things I never picked up on, though, was one time when I walked up on him and he had said to me, when I asked him how he was, he said, "Well, I'm just hanging out here to get myself together before I go in, because none of you know how much it takes me all week to get myself up to be the person that everyone needs me to be, to present myself the way I do in those practices." Um, and I think I didn't really fully digest that because I didn't want to believe that anything was fake. Um, and unfortunately, that came back to bite me as um, a number of hurtful interactions happened where I felt really rejected. I remember when I got sick with pneumonia, the response was, "Well, you are not ruining the color coordination of my choir performance," because I got sick the night with pneumonia before the performance. Um, Different things like that. And his actions ended up splitting the choir. Um, and I could never go back. There was a new choir formed, and it's just, I learned through all of that, not only the toxicity of him and the fakeness there, but also of other people over time through that. And it really hurt me. And other things too. When I went from there into sports leagues, other things happened, where this was just a repeat of where people claim to be your friends, you know, um, or claim like, it's like, oh, it's like we've known each other our whole lives, and like we're going to be, you know, friends, like just really close friends, and then just dump you um, in a heartbeat over something little and not willing to work things out, or um, and then call you toxic, um, it's just a series of hurtful events. So we have a lot of people out there right now claiming to be what they aren't. Look at our former president, right? Uh, Claiming to be the most patriot, best president. And, I remember when I used to love looking at the American flag, and now I get leery when I see anybody toting the American flag, because I know that they think that they're probably Trumpers who think they're more patriotic than me because um, I don't follow Trump. So, yeah, there's a lot of that going on. Fake people. What do you think? I think it's prevalent in our gay community too. And this gets into my last topic of what you like about being gay and what you don't. Um, I think in our community, in our gay community, there's a lot of wounds, and a lot of legitimate wounds. where people carry masks. And I think it's decorated with costumes and dressing up and entertainment and um, personas that we find entertaining and even celebrate. I'm not saying it all is, but I'm saying that when people can't step behind that uh, and develop more, it becomes a problem. And I was on a website and I wish, or a page on Facebook, and I wish I hadn't lost it. But the question was, what don't you like about being gay? And I read through the comments and I was just flabbergasted at the variety of the comments. Um, and a lot of it was having to do with commitment around relationships, um, and that kind of thing. So we do need that. And I'm going to play some music because I think somebody's knocking on my door, and then I'll come back. No. What's that? They're not mine. Okay, so I'm back. Anyhow, so like I was saying, uh, so if you have people that are just focused on what they're going to present from a persona or uh, kind of like how can I entertain or um, humor you, um, then you're not going to get too deep into a relationship. And I think it's hard in our community to trust. And I get that. But I think that it's imperative that we work on that. The Surgeon General said that, our nation, a while back ago, one of its top concerns is loneliness. And the subculture that is most concerning to him is gay men. And I'm sure gays in general, but gay men in particular. So that's a big deal. Loneliness affects your mental health and your physical health. So it's something that we have to deal with. I know for myself, right now, for myself, I've not always been this way, but right now, it's hard for me to be vulnerable, um, and I'm working on it, um, just because of things that have happened. Not with everybody, but going out there in the gay community is hard for me, and I really haven't been doing that because of things that have happened. But let's move off the negativity, right? That's something we have work to do, but there is good. I want to end this on a good note. What is good about being gay? What is good? Because there is a lot of good. And I was also watching another video where they talked about what was good. And I wish they would get off sex stuff, but of course we do have we do have that. I mean, we are more tend to be more open to experimenting sexually and sexually liberated. So that's good. That is a good thing. And I'm happy about that for myself too. I am no longer the wound up pretzel I used to be. But again, I just wish we would always just focus on that. But the other thing that I agreed with in the video, and I would say about myself, is that it has propelled me into being a deeper version of myself where I have learned to embrace the light and the dark of myself. I think I would have probably been maybe not too nutty, but somewhat of a religious kind of a nicer, not like a MAGA person at all, but a nicer religious nut. But it propelled me to face a lot of things about myself being gay. Um, and I think having been through being an outcast, going through bullying, has made me more of a compassionate person. Um, uh, Developing a sense of humor has gotten me through a lot of things, but that sense of humor was developed because of other things too, not just for being from being gay. I think there's a nice, even though I don't have it now, there is, I do like the idea around a community, though I don't feel like I have a big sense of that. I do in a social network, like a internet social network. I do have some of that, and I know what it's like to have it. So I know that it exists. So I think that's a good thing. What else? What else? I think what I like about being gay also is that I feel that I'm in touch with both my masculine and my feminine more. And that's pretty cool that I feel like I can access either and be in touch with either so I can understand both genders. I love that. It gives me a greater, broader understanding and sensitivity that I enjoy. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. I mean, it's also helped with my spirituality, even though I tend to sometimes entertain that it hasn't. Um, it's made it more real. Um, so I think that it's helped with that as well. All right. Well, thanks for listening if you're listening. And I hope you have a good revenge of the fifth day. I know I will. And of course, it's Cinco de Mayo also. But I won't be partying so much as I'll be with my mom at her senior center having a dinner. That's my life. But they are very loving people, so I don't regret it. They have their own sense of community, and it's kind of nice seeing a sense of community anymore. I mean, you don't know your neighbors anymore like we used to, so if I see any community anywhere, I'm down with it. Have a great rest of your day. Homo Sanity out.